In the heart of the Amazon, where the air hums with life older than memory, there exists a story that almost no one was meant to hear. A story about a tribe the world forgot, and how their silence, their secrets, and their way of seeing the forest ended up saving it. Most people imagine the Amazon as an endless green sea, untamed, eternal. But what if I told you that this vast world of trees and rivers almost lost its heart? And that its salvation came not from governments, nor scientists, nor billion-dollar NGOs, but from a people who never asked to be known. They are called the Arawana, a small tribe hidden deep in the upper Rio Jutai basin in the northwestern Amazon. For decades, even satellite maps missed them. No census, no records, only whispers among river traders and stories told by neighboring tribes. The first outsider to reach them wasn't a missionary or a prospector. It was an environmental biologist named Dr. Sofia Mendez, who in 2013 followed a faint pattern of satellite data, an area of untouched canopy surrounded by miles of logging scars. When she arrived, she didn't find poverty or isolation. She found a civilization that had quietly perfected the art of balance. Every tree cut had a purpose. Every hunt followed a ceremony. Every river bend, a story. To the Arawana, the forest wasn't a resource, it was a relative. And in that understanding lay their greatest secret. At first, Mendez couldn't explain what she saw. In a region ravaged by illegal logging and cattle expansion, the Arawana lands glowed with density, a living shield. Satellite data showed that their territory had higher carbon retention than any protected park nearby. Even the air above it was cooler, thicker with moisture. Scientists later discovered why. The tribe had been cultivating microclimates, manipulating nature not with machines, but with myth. They called it breathing the forest, a ritual where they planted specific tree species, cecropia, mahogany, kapok, in patterns designed to mimic the lungs of the earth. When rains failed, their chants would echo through the jungle. Not superstition, but memory. Those chants marked the timing of planting cycles, aligned with lunar rhythms, humidity shifts, and animal migrations. In essence, the Arawana had been doing ecosystem engineering for centuries, without blueprints, without tech, only intuition and story. There's something humbling about realizing that progress doesn't always look like invention. Sometimes it looks like remembering. The Arawana had preserved what the world was trying to recreate through climate models and sustainability plans, a living equilibrium. But the modern world was getting closer every year. Deforestation zones were expanding. The river trade was bringing disease, alcohol, and exploitation. Their secret couldn't stay hidden forever. In 2017, a fire broke out in a nearby illegal logging camp. It spread fast, consuming hundreds of hectares of secondary forest. When officials arrived days later, expecting devastation, they found something extraordinary. The flames had stopped right at the invisible border of Arawana land. Why? Because the tribe's agroforestry system had created natural fire breaks, moisture belts of diverse vegetation that stopped combustion in its tracks. The forest had defended itself. That moment changed everything. Satellite analysts confirmed the anomaly. Headlines called it the miracle zone of the Amazon. And suddenly, everyone wanted to know who lived there. The Brazilian government moved in quickly, announcing a plan to designate the area as a conservation reserve. But the Arawana resisted. They feared that being protected meant being displaced, a story repeated countless times across the Amazon. They didn't want fame, they wanted freedom. Dr. Mendez tried to mediate, becoming the fragile bridge between a forgotten world and one that refused to listen. In interviews, she said something that still echoes today. They taught me that the forest is not dying, it's being suffocated by those who forgot how to breathe with it. Her words went viral. For a brief moment, the Arawana became a symbol of hope, proof that ancient knowledge could coexist with modern science. But attention is a double-edged sword. Where curiosity goes, exploitation often follows. Within a year, journalists, missionaries, and even ecotourists began to appear near the river's edge. Some came with good intentions, others with greed. Satellite images soon showed illegal airstrips appearing less than 50 kilometers from Arowana land. Dr. Mendez vanished from public view. Some say she left after threats from loggers. Others believe she stayed, returning to live among the tribe, hidden once again. What's certain is this. In 2019, a new map of the Amazon revealed something astonishing. While most surrounding regions lost forest cover, the Arowana zone expanded. The ecosystem wasn't just surviving, it was regenerating, pushing outwards as if the forest itself had decided to fight back. There's a moment deep in the rainforest when the noise fades. No engines, no chatter, only the pulse of life. Insects, birds, dripping leaves. That's where the Arowana still live, moving in harmony with something the rest of us can barely hear anymore. They don't call themselves guardians. They don't use words like conservation. To them, the forest is not something to save, it's something to serve. And maybe that's the difference. Maybe the world doesn't need more saviors, it needs more servants of the earth. Today, the exact location of the Arowana remains unmarked, protected by the very scientists who once revealed it. Their language is still unwritten, their rituals still unrecorded, but their legacy lives on, in climate models, in reforestation projects, in the quiet revolution of those who now listen to indigenous wisdom, not as myth, but as science. Somewhere in the Amazon, there is a forest breathing, slowly, endlessly, beautifully. And with every breath, it reminds us that the world was never ours to conquer. It was only ours to remember.